Otter Madness by Steve Howson, illustrated by Carissa Harris, Purple Book Band. Olly the Otter did not like living on the riverbank. It was noisy and crowded, and there was never enough space to play. So Olly went wandering. Over a hill far from the river, he found a beautiful pool. The water was cool and clear and fresh, and it was full of tasty fish. Olly slid down the bank and dived among the river reeds. He swooped through the water and scooped up a fish. It was the most delicious fish he had ever tasted. Then he sat on the bank under a shady tree. An old gray heron was watching them in the reeds. "Hello," said Olly. "Who are you?" "I'm Herb," said the heron. "This is the most perfect place I have ever seen," said Olly. "Yes, it is," said Herb. "It's so quiet here," said Olly. "Yes, it is," said Herb. "How did you find this place?" asked Olly. "I've lived here all myself," said Heron. "Myself," said Herb. The next day, Olly came back with his mom and dad and 5 sisters. They slid down the bank and dived among the reeds. They swooped through the fresh, clear water and scooped up the fish. Olly's dad said, "This is the most perfect place in the world. Why don't we stay for a while?" Olly and his family made a cozy den. Beside a cool, clear pool, they ate the tasty fish for every meal. Olly's sisters made slides down the bank and played among the reeds. Herb watched them from under the tree. Olly said, "We must tell Granny and Granddad and Nana and Gramps about this place." When the 4 old otters saw the fresh, clear pool, they gasped. They swam in the sparkling water, snapped up the tasty fish, and lay down to rest on the grass bank. The place is perfect," said Gramps. "I think we will stay with you for a while." Herb snapped up a fish in his beak and turned away. Olly's Uncle Olaf, Auntie Orla, and 7 cousins came to visit. They could not believe their eyes. Uncle Olaf and Auntie Orla dived in the cool pool and scooped up the tasty fish. Olly and his 5 sisters and 7 cousins chased and splashed and swooped through the water. They made more slides down the bank and squealed with delight as they slipped through the mud in the pool. Herb looked down from the tree. He put his head under his wing. Soon more Olly's family and friends came to see the perfect pool with its tasty fish. They all decided to stay for a while. Now the pool was getting very crowded. The water was filled with diving, splashes otters. The grass was packed with rubber munching on fish. One day, 3 deer came to the pool. They tiptoed to the water edge and dipped their head to drink. "Hey," called Uncle Olaf, "you can't drink here." The deer looked at the otters, swirled around the brown water, and decided to leave. Olly's dad said, "It's getting harder to find fish in this pool. They're getting smaller and they're not as tasty as before." Herb was peering in the muddy water, looking for fish. "Hey," called Uncle Olaf, "what are you doing?" No wonder there aren't many fish left. Herb shook his head sadly and stared off into the reeds. He had enough. Olly climbed out of the muddy brown pool and looked around. The place had changed a lot since he'd found. The water was murky and warm. The banks were slim and sluggy. The wasn't even space to play anymore. Olly went to find Herb. But the old heron wasn't among the reeds. He wasn't under the tree. He wasn't on his favorite branch. Olly was worried. He searched all the streams and ponds nearby. Finally, he went over to the river. Herb was there, gazing into the water. "How do you like your perfect pool now?" asked Herb. "Not very much," added Olly. "Nor do I," said Herb. "I'm so sorry," said Olly. "Do you like it here by the river?" "It's nice," said Herb. "But it's not my home." Olly shook his head sadly. "Wait here," he said. "I'll be back soon." Olly went back to the pool. He told the otters about Herb. "We need to give him back his home," he said. "We have made such a mess on it." The otters looked around. They felt sad that they had spoiled the perfect pool. So they worked together to repair the banks, tidy up the mess, and packed up their things. They stayed out of the pool, and after a few days, the water became clear and freshly. Olly went to find Herb. "Welcome home," cheered all the otters. The old heron looked at the beautiful clear pool in amazement. "My home," he cried. "Thank you." "We're going back to the river now," said Olly. "I'm sorry we stayed so long and made such a mess." All the otters nodded. "Perhaps we could come and visit sometime," said Olly. "We promise to be more careful in the future." "Yes," said Herb. "I would like that. It's nice to have company from the time." Then Olly and his family, all of his friends, went back over the hill to the river. They all agreed it was good to be home. Quiz. What does Olly not like in the riverbank? It is noisy and crowded. What type of animal is Herb? A heron. What type of the tree deer they can't drink at the pool? Uncle Olaf. What does Herb feel sad? The otters make a mess in the pool. Where did the otters decide to live in the end? The river.